Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Hope everybody's doing good and enjoying the holiday season. Today we're going to bring you a bit of a long video, so fair warning. We're going to touch base a little bit about what we have coming for Boogieman. We're going to do a product review and an install. You guys already know Boogieman is a budget build, and we've been really struggling to get out of the 740s. So we pour our stock intake manifold, we put a bigger throttle body in it, we got a used set of headers and all this budget stuff that we did, which was cool. We haven't been able to get out of the 740s. So recently we found out about a car in North Carolina that runs a 7.1, and it's a 6th generation Camaro with a stick, and we thought, man, we have to go for that. We have to run a 7.1. If they can do it out there, we can do it out here too. So yeah, we're gonna go for it. It should be a ton of fun. We're definitely not gonna do it with our current setup. We've been beating on the setup since summer, and the weather has only gotten better, and we can't seem to get out of the 740s. And I know you guys hear me say, I need mods, and I need a blower, or I need a power adder. We do. We want to get a power adder on this car. Unfortunately, right now it's not going to be a good idea for us because a power adder like a blower or nitro is going to require upgrading the fuel system. It's going to require a lot of downtime on Boogieman, and it's going to really limit us from doing videos because this is our primary car that we take to the track. Actually, our only car that we take to the track. If it sits here in the garage waiting for fuel pumps or injectors and things like that, then it's just going to really slow us down a lot. We're going to try to go for that 7.1, and we're going to try to maximize the car as much as we can with just bolt-ons. We're not going to go with long tubes because it's just going to cost too much money to get a good set, and it's going to require us to redo our exhaust and things like that. So we're not going to go down that route, but we are going to change our intake manifold. So our intake manifold has been pretty good to us. It's a ported intake manifold where we modified the snout and we got an LT5 throttle body on there, which is pretty cool. It performs well, make good power. But yeah, we're going to upgrade. And we're going to upgrade to a, let me just show you. There it is, an MSD INTAKE manifold. So this thing is pretty massive, so you can see. All my buddies who run these intake manifolds tend to run higher mile per hour than me. Even though they run around the same times, they tend to get 2 to 3, even 4 more mile per hour than me. So I have to give it a shot. And I would normally steer away from such an expensive product like this because this thing's $1,100. But it was Black Friday and I got a really good deal through RDP store. So I just went for it and I got it. Let me show you a little bit about the product. Finish, super nice. Looks really, really good. Accents look really nice. Comes with a carb sticker, which is super awesome. Adapter plates if you want to run your stock throttle body. New O-ring for your snout, which you have to use because such a larger one. Also, it does not come with gaskets for your runners, so you have to reuse your stock ones, which I think they should have provided because being that this intake's $1,100, right? All your necessary hardware here, so it's cool. It was packaged well. You see the box there. It was packaged well. It looks good. However, I do have a big complaint about the intake manifold. Normally, I wouldn't complain about little things like this, but I have to say, for $1,100, I did not want to see this. And let me show you here. I'm gonna do this with one hand, so bear with me. Okay, as you can see here, look at all that residue. Not cool. See it? Look. All that residue. Look at all that overlapping. A lot of it. Not cool. A lot of overlapping. A lot of residue. Yeah, it's a lot of it. Did not expect to see all that. Some of it's pretty excessive, like in this corner, and it looks like they kind of touched it up a little bit, but whoever was in charge of that didn't do a very good job. So if it was cheaper, I wouldn't complain. The instructions are good. Went through them. They tell you, do not use your OEM throttle body bolts because they're too long and they'll break the housing. As you can see, it's really short. things like that. But you do have to put the shell together, and there is a diagram here It tells you the proper torque specs. If you're buying this intake manifold, make sure you have a torque wrench or know somebody that has a torque wrench so you can finish putting the shell together. So you're gonna have to torque them to 75 pounds and inch per pound in 2 stages, and here's your sequence. This is for the top shell, and then you're gonna have to use this torque spec to 89 for the manifold to head. So yeah, first impressions, I have to say, not very happy with the residue. All that overlapping material is not what I wanted to see. I did not want to have to put those top bolts together. You know, it should have came fully assembled for you just to slap it on, but don't know the story behind that. Without further ado, let's get started with the install. Okay, so taking off the stock intake manifold is super easy. I've done it multiple times, so I'm just gonna kind of storm through it. It's super easy. Just wanna hook these guys right here. Bring them out like this. Pull the throttle body off. Now this throttle body is gonna be a mission. Get a 95mm throttle body, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Okay, let me see how I'm gonna try to get that thing out of there now. Okay, so remove your intake, remove your vacuum lines, then you remove your catch can. I hate this Mishimoto catch can. It sweats oil so much. Not cool. Disconnect your throttle body, just like that. Disconnect your MAF to get it out the way. So here's a side-by-side comparison. Definitely a lot taller. Super huge. The bellies, bellies are about the same. Top is huge though. Let's take off the throttle body, see how it looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and take off the throttle body. Remember, we're not going to use the OEM bolts anymore. Are the intakes side by side. Obviously the MSD is super huge compared to the stalker. You can see this is a snout of our ported LT1 manifold. There's a little bit of silicone residue on the sides just because I used a little bit of silicone to make sure there was no vacuum leaks. But yeah, it's significantly larger. You can see it. No arguing that. Look at that runner. The runner is pretty small if you compare it to that huge old thing. There they are, side by side. So this is the throttle body, made it to the manifold. Looks pretty good. It's definitely this throttle body was way too big for our LT1 manifold, but it's definitely too small for our MSD. So we'll see how it does, but it's pretty good. Looks pretty cool. Alright guys, so there it is. Boogieman now sports an MSD atomic intake manifold. So in closing, I would like to say that it's a pretty nice intake. It actually fit really nice, better than I thought it would actually. Fits really well. I was able to still utilize the old foam pad on the bottom, which that was cool because I wanted to keep that because it helps keep the noise away. It came with all the necessary hardware. It came with great instructions with torque specs and sequences, which I really like that. It was super easy install, great quality intake, everything was great, except I expected more from this manifold, being that it has a very expensive price point, and I wasn't expecting to see those runners like that, the overlapping and the residue. That is my only complaint. Aside from that, I think it's a pretty cool intake. I can't wait to put it on the dyno and see how well it does. So stay tuned for the dyno day